You hear the first three notes and you are gone. Not gone from the room. You are still standing there holding your coffee waiting for the light to change. But part of you has been yanked backward across years, dropped into a specific afternoon, a specific person, a specific ache you had not thought about in a decade. The song did not remind you of that time, it put you back inside it. How does a handful of sound do that? The easy answer is that you simply associate the song with a memory the way a photograph reminds you of a trip. But the real reason is far stranger and far more physical than association. A song does not point at the past. It reopens it because of where music is stored in your brain and what it drags up with it when it comes. Start with the feeling itself. Scientists have a name for it. It is called a music-evoked autobiographical memory, and it has a strange signature that ordinary remembering does not. When a song pulls up a memory, the memory arrives with its feelings still attached. You do not just recall that you were sad that summer. You feel the sadness again, faintly but truly in real time. Most memories are like reading a description of an event. Music memories are like being handed the event itself, still warm. And that difference is a clue to what is actually happening inside your skull. Because music, it turns out, is not stored in one tidy place. When you listen to a song, your brain does not file it in a single folder. It lights up almost everywhere at once. The regions that handle sound, yes, but also the regions for movement, for emotion, for reward, for memory, all firing together, all bound to the same few minutes of sound. A neuroscientist named Petr Janata found something striking about where this binding happens. He discovered that a region near the front of your brain, in the medial prefrontal cortex, acts as a kind of hub that links music to autobiographical memory. And that same region is one of the last to be damaged as certain forms of dementia advance. This is part of why a person who has forgotten their own children can still, impossibly, sing every word of a song from their youth. The music is anchored somewhere the disease reaches last. Sit with that for a second. The melody outlives the memory of the people you loved. So why does music bind to memory so much more tightly than almost anything else? Part of the answer is timing. Think about when the songs that haunt you most entered your life. For almost everyone, they arrive in a narrow window, roughly between the ages of 10 and 30, with the teenage years at the burning center. Psychologists call this the reminiscence bump. It is a strange spike in autobiographical memory, a period of life you remember far more vividly than any other, and it lines up almost exactly with the years your identity was forming. The music of that window did not just play in the background, it played while you were deciding who you were. It fused to the raw material of yourself. That is why a song from when you were 15 can level you and a song you heard last month often cannot. The teenage brain was not just listening, it was building, and it wired the music directly into the scaffolding. Does that reframe the songs you cannot let go of? Now add the second ingredient, the one that makes the return so total: emotion. When a moment carries strong feeling, your brain tags it for deeper storage. A structure called the amygdala, which handles emotion, works closely with the hippocampus, which handles memory, and together they press the emotional moments harder into the record. Music is a machine for generating emotion. It gives you chills, it moves you, it lifts and drops you in ways that plain events rarely do. So the songs of your youth were not only encoded during the most formative years of your life. They were encoded with the volume of feeling turned all the way up. Formative timing and intense emotion layered on the same 3 minutes of sound. No wonder they hit like a door swinging open. And here is the final strange piece, the reason the return feels so instant. Smell can do something similar, and a photograph can bring back a memory too, but music has an unusual power to unfold in time exactly as it did before. A song is not a single image. It is a sequence, and your brain follows that sequence the same way it did years ago, note predicting note, phrase pulling toward phrase. As the song moves, it drags the memory along its own timeline, rerunning not a snapshot but a stretch of your life at its original speed. You are not remembering the past. For a few minutes, your brain is quietly reliving it, using the song as the track it runs on. So think again about those first 3 notes. They did not remind you of anything. They reached into a region near the front of your brain where music and memory and emotion are tangled together, a place built during the years you were becoming yourself, a place that holds on longest when everything else lets go. And they pulled, and a whole vanished afternoon came up with them, feelings and all, running forward in time just as it once did. You thought the song was playing in your ears. It was playing somewhere much deeper, in the place where you keep the person you used to be.